Hi, this is Dave Hodges, and I've got a new endeavor that I'm launching here on our website. And we've got a new YouTube channel, and it's entitled Hodgeball Sports Analysis. And I'm going to continue to maintain my focus on news and events, preserving the Republic, and that's really my main focus, preserving Christian ideals, all go hand in hand. Going to continue to do the same thing. However, once in a while, we need levity. We need entertainment. And I need to have a diversion every now and then. And so I decided I would do something that I'm more than qualified to do. I was a coach for over 30 years, high school, college, was an NBA scout. I've played high school and college football, basketball, baseball, and I still love sports. There's things about sports I don't care for. I don't care for all the politicizing that goes on, and I want to give kudos out to ESPN. They have finally cleaned up their act, and they're not allowing sports commentary, liberal or conservative, on their shows, and that's how it should be. And aside from reporting a news event, I endeavor to do the same thing right here. This is by no means going to take over our main mission at the Common Sense Show, which is to report the news and keep the bad guys on the short and narrow. However, I do need that diversion, and I just want to tell you that you don't have to listen. You can simply see, oh, that's a sports item. Let's go to the next news item. But I would hope you would honor the fact that some people, a lot of people, have asked me, say, Dave, I like it when you comment on sports. And sometimes sports becomes news, like the Megan Rapinoe fiasco. And they said, I like that. I wish you'd do more of that. And that gave me the idea, maybe I should do one of these broadcasts a day, and I think that's what we're going to do. So this will represent a small percentage of what we do. Our YouTube channel for this, again, is Hodgeball Critical Sports Analysis. And Hodgeball is a name that when we were coaching one unique style of basketball several years ago, a bunch of my players made up the name to describe the system, and they called it Hodgeball. Kind of a play on words to dodgeball, but it gave a kind of unique flair, and I thought it'd be a good name for the channel. Well, I want to start off this first broadcast with something that I always get excited about. I love college football. In fact, when I was a junior in college, I was having a pretty good high school career, and I attracted the attention of some mid-level colleges, mostly Division II schools, and I weighed 163 pounds, and so I didn't see myself having a future there, which is why I went the way of basketball. But I've always loved football. I've been a head football coach, and every year I look forward to great excitement as college football is about to start. Now, around the country, we're just a short time away from the leaves changing. We're a short time away from getting that little chill in the air at night. Of course, not where I live in Arizona, but around the country. And there's nothing as beautiful as the fall in the Midwest, in New England. It's just fantastic. But see, it all is a trigger for me. A conditioned response to college football is here. Can't wait for opening day. Well, I was asking myself this question, who's going to be good this year? Well, that's an easy question. The Gators are going to be good. Alabama, of course. Ohio State is going to be good. But what I wanted to know, is there a dark horse out there? And is there a dark horse with a tough schedule? So I thought I would kill two birds with one stone with this analysis. There is a dark horse, and there is someone that you can identify as having the toughest schedule. And oh, do they ever have a tough schedule. And I'm talking about the South Carolina Gamecocks. Now, of course, you would expect this to come out of the SEC. The SEC is just the best college football around, and it's a breeding ground for the NFL, and it's just a fantastic league with great parity. Alabama is really kind of at the top. Now, you're saying, Dave, what about Clemson, last year's national champion? I agree. The football gets spread around here, and lots of good teams and lots of excitement, and you really can't always predict, where the winning line is going to be drawn and who's going to be successful. But there's a team, though, that I really think is this year's dark horse, but unfortunately or fortunately, they have the toughest schedule in the country, and that schedule is just absolutely amazing. Let me look at the schedule with you as I pull this up here. Excuse me. But they play Alabama, they play Clemson right away. See, they're playing the two best teams in the country. They play upstarts Virginia and Kentucky, a much, much improved program that I really, really appreciate. They are fantastic. And they play Texas A&M, which is a solid team this year. If they could ever learn to play a little bit of defense, they're a team that would be a contender for the college playoffs. Now you're saying, Dave, what do you pin your hopes on with South Carolina? Well, two things. One, they've got a really, really good offensive line this year, and they've got to keep them healthy. They lost a couple of their key players last year to injury, but they got a superior quarterback. He was the number 2 passer in the SEC, and his name is Jake Bentley. And good old number 19 can get out and scramble a little bit, throws well on the run. He completed 61% of his passes last year, threw for almost 3,200 yards and 27 touchdowns. And a lot of people think he could be the best in the SEC. Some people are saying, no, it's more like second or third. But the Gamecocks will ride his shoulders to how far they go. Now, last year they were 5-5 with a tough schedule. This year's team is tougher. The problem for them is I think you need to have good, in other words, you have to have a tough schedule to make the playoffs. You really do, because they're going to judge you by strength of schedule when they select those final 4 teams. But you don't want to have a schedule so tough that you're going to lose more than 1 game. 2 games at the very most. And most teams with 2 losses can kiss the playoffs goodbye. They'll just go to a second-rate bowl game. Well, the Gamecocks, I'm looking at this here, I don't see any way that they lose less than 3 games. They're going to be 7-3, and they very well could be the 4th or 5th best team in the country. So their strength of schedule is almost too strong, and they easily come in as the top and toughest schedule in the country. Now, are there any others? Well, I'd give the runner-up prize to the Florida Gators. Their schedule, just by virtue of the fact they play in their own conference, their schedule is right near the top as well. The Gamecocks come clearly out ahead. But right there, I think that Florida is going to be a contender. But then again, too, they suffer from being in a league where they could be 3rd or 4th, yet be a top 10 team. It's an interesting time, and I just love this time of year. I'm going to watch the Gamecocks because if you like to align yourself with an underdog, someone who has a chance to sneak in to the college playoffs, those final 4 berths, I think the Gamecocks are an interesting view. I'll be watching them. This is Dave Hodges, and this is Hodgeball Critical Sports Analysis. We're brought to you by the best storable food company in the world. And in case you haven't noticed, I know you've noticed in the Midwest, lots of flooding, lots of farmland, food shortages already appearing, and we have terrible weather across the planet, terrible weather in the United States, from earthquakes to hurricanes to tornadoes. Don't get caught short when your just-in-time delivery stops. We offer storable food at 40% off, restaurant quality, and we offer it in 2- and 4-week packages. Now, the government, in the form of DHS and FEMA, says you need to have 6 months. The experts are saying 2 years. Usually 30 days will get you by a crisis like a tornado, but you never know. But getting that much food can be expensive, so what can you do? You can simply take advantage of the fact that we sell the food in 2- and 4-week packages. That makes the accumulation a whole lot easier. And this food tastes great, too. It's restaurant quality. Go to preparewithdave.com. Thanks for joining us here on the initial broadcast of Hodgeball Critical Sports Analysis. Make sure you visit our YouTube channel and don't forget to subscribe.